not just any game lets you punch a robot, hack a guy's brain, or wear an outfit so cool it makes Keanu Reeves go, "You're breathtaking." But sometimes a game that was supposed to change everything, a game that had the hype of 1,000 conventions, a game that was supposed to have a story better than most Hollywood movies, doesn't just miss the mark, it triple backflips into a blender and dies on arrival. Bugs, crashes, refunds. It was the Titanic of gaming launches, except instead of hitting an iceberg, you hit a telephone pole and glitched through the floor. And yet, behind all of that chaos is one of the greatest RPGs of our generation. With a world so rich, it makes you feel like you could move to Night City and start paying rent. Characters so good they belong in a prestige TV drama, and storytelling that sinks its teeth into you harder than a cat offering its belly sinks its little claws into your arm. This week, I thought about Cyberpunk 2077, the game that went from being one of the worst releases in gaming history to one of the best RPG masterpieces of our time. When Cyberpunk was first announced, I don't think any one word describes it like hype did. No, not that kind. I'm talking about video games, not mumble rappers from 2017. Hype is in anticipation and excitement. Like, I don't think there's ever been a game with this much hype before. I mean, people were ready to sell their organs to get their hands on this thing early. And when it launched, it was like they were waiting for the Messiah, and they got the Messiah. He was just a robot with a broken leg and a ton of bugs. But how did this happen? The trailers, man. The trailers were beautiful. You watched them and thought, oh, this is it. This is gonna change how we play video games. We were promised a world where everything mattered, where every choice had consequences and every NPC had a backstory. It was supposed to be a living world, not just a bunch of cardboard cutouts waiting to hand you side quests. And then it came out and the world was living, just more so in the kill me horror of man type beat. It also had an incredible amount of hype with the announcement of the world's third best boy behind Ryan Reynolds and Andrew Garfield, Keanu Reeves, joining the cast. And of course everyone's favorite viral moment where Keanu Reeves does the whole "You're breathtaking." But then the game released. I remember watching my friend play it for the first time and it was like he bought a premium Windows PowerPoint that probably would have been worth something more if they added in the fucking cube transition. But here's the thing, despite all the disasters at launch, there was something about Cyberpunk that just stuck with you. Once you got past the crashing cars and the NPCs who can't figure out how to walk in a goddamn straight line, or the failing mission screens that would pop up at random times, the core was so good. The story was incredible. The characters were realistic. Johnny Silverhand is one of the most iconic gaming heroes. Or anti-heroes, if we're being honest. It's one of the few games where I actually cared about the side characters. Except River, because despite his name, he has about as much character depth as a fucking puddle. But Cyberpunk had this insane level of depth. The world was massive. The side quests were some of the best out there, and even though it felt like a game that needed a patch every time you turned it on, it was still a glitchy diamond in the rough, even though it might have been too rough for most people to see the diamond. I mean, if you haven't played this game since launch, then you're probably thinking, who is this guy and why is he yapping so much about a game that sucks? Hello, I'm Zen, welcome in, and the devs have been patching the shit out of this game. They've been working overtime, fixing and repairing, and now it's starting to look like the game we were promised. Because despite it launch being like a heist gone wrong, ambitious, chaotic, and somehow missing half the fucking plan, maybe a heist gone right because of all the pre-orders, it's fixed, which is amazing because most devs after launch would have been like, well, we tried, here's a DLC, good luck with the glitches. But CDPR, oh no, they put their hands on their hips, looked at this fucking broken mess of a game and went, I can fix him. And unlike some of the more delusional people in my life who have said that, it worked. They started handing out free patches like they were goddamn Oprah. You get a patch, you get a patch. Check out last week's patch, because you get a patch. It's like they were doing CPR on a dead horse. Except the horse wasn't dead and it was just taking a really long bug-filled nap. But when it woke up, it was better. They fucking went in there, reworked entire systems, fixed mechanics, tweaked issues that were basically broken from the start, and made sure the game actually could run on PS4, except it's still gonna sound like a goddamn jet engine taking off every time you launch the son of a bitch. Cause with the driving, now I'm fucking Tokyo drifting, the combat is smoother and punchy like a fine-tuned engine, the AI is not as much of a dumpster fire. It's like they found the magic formula. 1 part determination, 2 parts we're never gonna admit defeat, and 3 parts, please don't make us go back to Witcher 3 DLC forever. And you know what? It worked. Night City is now a living, breathing city. It feels alive. Characters have purpose. Side quests don't just feel like filler, but actually feel like mini movies that you want to get involved in. You're invested, and honestly, it's what makes this game so special. It's like that car that's been in the shop for 6 months. Sure, you're mad at it, but now that you're driving it, you fucking understand. Oh yeah, Yeah, this thing's a beast. Honestly, Cyberpunk 2077 might have had one of the worst launches of all time, but I'm starting to believe it might just be shaping up to be one of the greatest RPGs of all time. But now that they've finished all the fixes, it's like they crafted the holy grail of games. And you're sitting there thinking, well, why didn't I play this earlier? And buddy, that's on you. And now here we are, Cyberpunk has gone from being a cautionary tale to a redemption arc so good it deserves its own goddamn Netflix original series, just without the stupid filler in there. And then just when you thought they were done, bam, hit us with Phantom Liberty. It's like they looked at everything we loved about the game, said, what if we crank this up to 11 and sprinkled in some spy thriller vibes? You got Idris Elba looking cooler than the other side of the pillow, plot twist sharper than the katana you definitely spec'd into, and a storyline so gripping it could snatch wigs through the screen. Phantom Liberty is basically what you get when the developer goes, oh, okay, now we're just showing off. It's espionage, betrayal, and explosions. I mean, it's essentially James Bond if James Bond had robo-eyes and street cred. I mean, the DLC is so good, it feels like the devs are out here flexing. Oh, you like the main game? Here's dessert, it's got extra sprinkles. The comeback of Cyberpunk proves that sometimes with enough hard work, apologies, and probably some witchcraft, you can rise from the ashes. And sure, it took a while, but now we've gotten one of the best RPGs of our time. Bugs squashed, city alive, and DLC thriving. It's everything we hoped for, just similar to me, a little late. And if you haven't played it yet, what are you waiting for? Grab it, jump into Night City, and play one of the best role-playing games that has ever existed. Because trust me, you do not want to miss out. My name is Zen, aka ZenMiso. Thank you for being here.